I'm extremely proud of you. Leo, this is your weekly oracle and tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries, and there's always an extended. That link is below. Please join me after this reading. And this is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Leo. Wherever Leo energy impacts your life, including if you're dealing with a Leo. I'm proud of you because of the way that you have transited this extremely difficult period in your life. A decision has been made. And that decision is that your life is going to get better and that you're not going to give up. There has been some commitment to being determined to not let go of something that you love a great deal. It could be a someone, but during the channeled message, this energy is more feelings and emotions and motivations. What is driving you right now? And I think what you realized is you need to believe. You need the belief. You need the faith. And so you're going to grant it to yourself. This faith that this can work out. And I know that this is shaky ground for you right now. I know that you know how very shaky your muscles are right now, and that you are hanging from very small footholds. And so it's just sheer determination still keeping you on the rock. I mean, I'm thinking about climbing because I've been doing a lot of climbing with my son. And so there's the metaphor. And sometimes it is really just sheer decision. I will live. I will survive. I will make it to the top. I will not give up. It's just will, and that's the only thing that's keeping you up. That's impressive. Like, Leo, how could I not be humbled in the face of that kind of energy that most people don't seem to be able to come up with? You know, there's also a recognition of the realization of how you put yourself into these situations, of how you made it difficult for you, of how you've added to the discomfort in your life. But if you're looking at all of those things, it's motivating you even more because you're like, I know that I'm capable of more than this. I know that I'm better than this. And it's not about being better than someone. It's about being more capable. Like, have you yourself, you're more capable than this, and knowing it. And finding a way to believe in yourself again. Things are wonky, man. I'll tell you that right now. They are not as straightforward, or shall I say, easy. But there was a switch that flipped in you that realized, if I want the light, I have to turn it on. There could be disappointment that there was nobody else there to turn the light on for you or to bring the light to you. But I think now that the decision, and the wonderful decision, was it doesn't matter. What matters is I want to live in the light. And if I have to turn it on myself, well, then I will turn it on myself. I'm not going to sit here in the dark, sad, and things getting even worse, like compounding the pain by just thinking, well, somebody hasn't showed up to turn the light on yet. Somebody hasn't showed up with a light. Somebody hasn't showed up to save me. All those feelings are going to do is keep me out of the light. I'd rather be sitting out in the light. And I think that you are in the light now. There's still that realization that hurts, that somebody else isn't there with you, or that you had to do it yourself, but at least you're in the light. There's happiness. It's not even necessarily happiness that you made the decision to provide for yourself. There's more or less just a happiness that, okay, I'm in the light now. That just the feeling, enjoying the feeling of the sun on your skin again, of being able to see things again. Just enjoy it. And that's why I think I'm so proud of you, is that you haven't qualified the joy, and you haven't tried to make it into something heroic, like I conquered this myself. No, you're just, I'm going to enjoy the sun. I've been out of it for too long. I'm just going to enjoy the sun. And beyond that, I don't need to get beyond that. It's a victory and a triumph for me right now that I have this second breath and this third breath and this fourth breath and this, wow, I keep on breathing. And it is a step-by-step process that you are getting through just by finding enjoyment in the simplicities of each moment. And Leo, I mean, I'll get into maybe future tense where this energy is going to be able to take you, but I am an optimist. And I do know that when we make decisions, we are our most godlike. We are our most powerful, because we are telling the universe what kind of life we want. And I heard a quote a long time ago, and it stuck in my head. The world will tell you who you are until you tell them. And this is definitely that time when you are telling them. And you're not talking to the world. You're not even talking to the community. You're talking to the universe. You're saying, see all this shit around me? I see it now very clearly, because that's part of the good part about the light, is that you see all the shit really clearly too. You know it has to go. It has to be cleaned up. But there is this sense in you now where you realize what you don't want and what life you do want, and that you realize the energy that you put into it, where you put your focus, is what determines what kind of all this crap that ended up around you. And so now there is that moment of, well, I want something different. So in a lot of ways, Leo, it's like you've come full circle to start completely new, all over again. Even though you still have all that you've accomplished, you're almost starting all over again. But you had to find yourself again, because so much of yourself was based on identifying with what you had built and the things around you that you'd accumulated, and not wanting to lose it, but losing yourself by holding on to it. So now there is that sense of, I can let go of all of this because I stand on top of it. I've built what I've built. It's not going anywhere. But I can't have it be where I lodge anymore. Now I have to use it as ground zero. And that's where you stand. You stand at a ground zero right now. And it's scary and it's shitty. It may not have been a place you ever wanted to actually go. But you know what, Leo? The sun's out. And if anybody at all is doing it for you and helping you, it is the universe. Because the sun is shining on your face again. And just the pure pleasure of the crispy feeling. I don't know if crispy is a good word, that you get when you're in that sunshine. Being able to refuel and feel more strength come from strength. It's like at just the point where you think you're going to fall off this cliff, you can't hold on anymore. You realize that you were strong all this time to hold on. And that strength is actually coming from just that strength alone. So this is sheer willpower. And before we go on to the cards, and I'm about to just jump in, I want you to, throughout the rest of this reading or after this reading, to really focus on, during this time period, really focus on your strength and how strong you are and all the things that got you here and the fact that you survive, continue to survive, and how strong that makes you. And I want you to focus on that value. Because if anybody will get you to the place where you really want to be, it is yourself. But you can't do it without having yourself on your own side. And there was a really dark night of the soul, a challenge of not even having you on your side, which is not heard of for Leos. But there was a twisted kind of couple of days there that really put you in a dark place, and it could have been lasted longer than a couple of days. Could have been a whole month. But there is just that sense of coming out of the dark now. I flipped this card a number of times. And this is Gemini energy. And it is clear what it says, right? Love is all around. But I said, Spirit, I know it came out crooked. Let me reshuffle again, or, and see what way it comes out again. And it came out on its side again. What this means to me is that things are ambiguous right now. This is about communications, and it's double whammy communications, because Virgo energy and Gemini energy came out right next to each other, which means it has something to do with Mercurial energy, which is 100% about communications, how things are transmitted, how things are received, how things are given, communication. Okay. Communication is definitely a little bit wonky right now. Not understanding what somebody really means when they say something, because there's ambiguity to it. Do they love me? Do they not love me? Do they want to stay with me? Do they not want to stay with me? There is a sense of you realizing that you might be building on sand here. And so the best way to prepare for this ambiguity, you might hit rock, you might hit bedrock an inch down. But what you're doing, and what's the perfect strategy, is simply saying, I'm going to plan on the sand. I'm going to plan on this ambiguity. I'm just going to use it as part of my logistics. Because I'm not going to decide that things, I'm not going to be the eternal optimist, but I'm also not going to be a pessimist. I'm going to be a realist. There's sand here. There's ambiguity. I don't know what this person means when they say what they say, because it could go either way. And they have gone, maybe you're dealing with somebody who has gone either way in the past. So there is a sense of, if I have to keep this person in my life, or I want to keep this person in my life, there is a sense of deciding not to decide whether it was good or bad, but just recognizing it for what it is and using it realistically. Decide, like literally, like I said, the light has come on, and what the wonderful thing is, it showed you all the junk around you. Okay, but that's resources. Maybe junk, but it's resources. So you're like, okay, I'm going to start here. That's essentially what these cards mean. I'm starting here. Whatever communications are coming through, I'm going to take it for what it's worth, for what it's just face value. And I'm going to go from there. And that's where you're getting your luck, because these two cards come out. You are multiplying your abundance by allowing things to be ambiguous, by seeing both sides, by saying, okay, I could see how if they called me up and they said, I was thinking of you, that it could have meant that they were still in love with me, but it also could mean that they were just thinking about all the shit that we've been through, or that they need me again. So I'm not going to let myself slide into that place that made me get into that dark position, which was they call me up and I assume that they love me because I'm me, and doesn't everybody love me? No, I'm not going to assume that. But I'm also not going to assume the worst. What I'm going to do is just take things at face value. Okay, you want to talk to me. All right, let's talk. Absolutely, we should talk. It doesn't mean because I decide to talk to you that I've qualified you as someone I can trust again, or that I've qualified you as somebody that I hate. I will not qualify you as either. I will qualify you simply as somebody I'm talking to, and the information that I get from that conversation or those communications, I will then take more inventory. It's a very Virgo-like energy. The Gemini energy, the listening, the receiving, the being able to fill somebody with importance, with communication, that's ambiguous right now. Trying to intentionally stay ambiguous so that you can make something work and make the most out of your situation and build the strongest foundation, knowing very clearly what you have. What you have right now is still very ambiguous, right? You could also be working very, very hard to not hate somebody who is trying to tell you their side of the story. Okay, absolutely. Cool. You know why? Because it's going to work out better for me if I don't get into this hateful, I've decided everything about you situation. I don't want to decide everything about you. You're not playing. You're not manipulating. That's not what's happening. But you are not deciding. You are simply enjoying the moment. Playing in the waves, flipping through the ocean, just living in the moment. Now, that's what dolphins do. They're very playful. They're very cute. But they're also very smart. And it just shows the intellect that goes into not deciding and just being in the present moment. Bring a gentle touch. This does imply love. It just also implies the decision. This is also Virgo energy. To start over from a place of kindness. You're not starting from a place of love. You're not starting from a place of I'm in love. You're starting from a place of kindness. To try to work out these mysteries. And this is Piscean energy. Not be judgmental. But instead just be assessing the circumstance, assessing the situation. You know there's definitely more here than meets the eye. But it's not intentionally malicious. It's just there's more to know. And until you know it, you're not going to decide about it. Right? And it's the cards are saying their support, they're like, think of the channeled message. This is the right thing to do. It's a right thing to do because all the cards aren't on the table. You know, all the hands haven't been dealt. And like I said in the channeled message, this is a beautiful energy of not only deciding to be in the present moment, but not qualifying it as morally bad or good. Just letting it be what it is. There is a hold up here. There is a stop. There is an unraveling to understand, maybe even in some ways dissecting the nature of a relationship, or things aren't coming together. They're not. This is a confirmation. These two cards. It is not time to collaborate. Things are not coming together. It's not time to put effort into putting them together. It's also a sense of you would be stepping backward if you tried to make this collaboration work. So don't do it. Just take it for what it is and where it is right now. I hope that confirmed a few things for you, because I know, you know, these energy readings, these oracle readings can be very ambiguous themselves, but this is definitely a confirmation of this is not the time to get back together. You guys are not getting back together. This is not all of a sudden you making up. I don't think you're even there emotionally, right? And it may not be romantic relationships, partnership, but there was definitely a mistrust, some sort of fallout here that made you question your self-worth. And I think that there's a temptation to actually blame them for that. Like, you're the only person, or this is the only situation that could have made me get this low. But you're moving past it because you know it doesn't add any value to your life to stay there, right? But still, this is a sense of this relationship. This is a collaboration. This collaboration still got a lot to work through. It's stuck right now. It is stuck right now. But you don't want to let go. You don't want to give up. You don't want to give up on everything that you've built. You don't want to give up on everything that you've believed in. So you don't want to let go. There is a refusal to let go. There is still something actually being hidden, being held back, not being dealt with. But you know that there's a basement level here, and there's more shit you're gonna find there. You know that. At least you've accepted that it's there, even though you don't know what it is yet. But this is more the energy. As soon as I saw this card, I'm like, Leo has decided to not let go. And you're not gonna let go. And this is a confirmation that just because of your decision and how important it is, if you haven't made the decision yet, to decide to not give up. Do not give up, because your decision to not fall off the cliff is what is making you not fall off the cliff. If you think for even a second, holy shit, I could fall, that's when you're going to slip. So there is so much energy and strength, and that's why I said I'm so proud of you guys right now, because there is so much energy and strength that's going into deciding and not letting yourself get distracted, which could mean a fall. And I think, I just heard this in my head. Oh my God, this could very well be, especially if you're in this is a romantic, if this is a romantic situation, you know that you could easily slip and fall back into this person, but you know that this person is not good for you. You know that this is not you know who they are, and you're just for the first time accepting who they are as a reality. Not as a judgment, not to hate them, but also not to make excuses for them. And because of this reality, you are able to keep your mind clear and say, I'm not jumping back into this, but I'm not letting go. I'm not letting go of myself, definitely. Make your dreams real. Now, this energy coming out in this reading is not a manipulative energy. It is, I am designing this. You are weaving the web. You are weaving the web, and it has to do with how much you love this person or something. You have decided you don't want to let go of them in your life. I'm not sure that I know that this is an ambiguous time right now, but there's definitely somebody that you do not want to let go of, and you are working extremely hard you are digging in real deep to not let go. If this is a relationship, you are digging in real deep to find a reason to hold on. In some ways, I can say, if this person is a Libra or some sort of Venetian energy, there is a sense, which is Venus, ruled by Venus, so maybe Taurus too. You are doing everything that you can to hold on to them. You are doing everything you can to make this situation work out. But you're not being unrealistic. You are not making the decision. Because it's like you realize that things are not working out. You get it. You've grasped the difficulties. But there is ultimately a decision to not let go of the relationship. But you also know that right now, the relationship isn't going to move forward. It's stuck. It's stuck. There's a lot of faith here too, which also takes strength. But you really don't want to let go. That could be it. You don't want to let go of the concept of love. What you don't want to let go of is not necessarily this relationship, especially if you're dealing with a Gemini, that just won't work out. You don't want to let go of love. You don't want to let go of love as a concept. You don't want to get to the point where you don't believe love could even happen anymore. And that's why you've accepted the reality of the circumstance, and you finally allowed yourself to see the realities of whoever you're dealing with, because you know that it was getting you to that dark place where you were giving up on love completely. You refuse. You refuse to give up on your faith in this subject matter, despite the fact that you're dealing with somebody who has made your world crash down quite a few times. Or a lot of ambiguity, and you're dealing with some shaky ground. It's almost like just because just because I'm walking on shaky ground doesn't mean I'm giving up this climb. I'm going to go slower and find another way. And digging in my heels is part of that process. But that's what I want to stress is you are definitely not giving up on love. But part of that could be to realize that you must give up on this relationship. But you were tempted to give up on love in general. And I don't mean that this might not be romance for you. It may be another subject matter, like very tempted to give up on, like, say I work in tarot, and my channel has been frustrating me a great deal. So there is just this decision to decide to not give up on my channel, but I will give up on certain stress points or certain things that are not working. You know, it's just, that's what it is. And I'm not saying that that's what it is for, like, you're into tarot, but I'm saying that that's what it is. It's like, I'm not going to give up. If you're dealing with a relationship, there's a sense of, I'm not giving up on love. I'm giving up on this crazy, wacky, ridiculous relationship that isn't going anywhere and would set me back and never works out. So I'll give up on that, but I will not give up on love. And I was about to. That's how low you might have come. I need to channel the angels' words for you right now. I love what they have to say already. They're like always here with me, almost just from the beginning, part of the channeling process. And that's why these always make sense. But seeing if something else comes out. One more thing came out. Okay. A lot of times, a lot of these cards come out. Not today. Very specific messages for you, Leo. From your spirit guides, angel messages, whatever you'd like to call them. Very specific messages. It started out with achievement. Take a little time to reflect on what you have achieved to date. It is often easy to forget where you started from and how far you've come. Honor and be grateful for this extraordinary journey that is your life. Your life is a journey. It's a journey. It's not a stop. It's a journey. So you're at another part of your journey right now. And maybe you're holding on. And in the process of you holding on, God, spirits, the angels want you to just stop, take a breath, and look around at how far you've come and how far you've climbed. And draw strength from that. Holy crap, look how far I've come. Because not only has it made me tired, but it's also made me strong and clever. And maybe there's more ways to get to the top and keep climbing than just gritting it out, using the muscle strength. Maybe there's other things that I can do. Positive thinking. I tell you, these cards are ridiculous, right? I mean, positive thinking is vital in creating a healthy and abundant life. A positive attitude along with positive beliefs and thoughts are crucial ingredients for creating happiness. Don't worry, think love. And that's what I'm saying. Think love. Build with love. Build with kindness. Don't give up. Remember how much you love. Oh, my little puppy. Remember how much you love. Remember love. Remember love in any capacity. Remember love. Remember love and that it's real. Maybe that's all you need to do. Maybe that's all you can do right now. But just the fact that you're believing that it's real is enough. It's enough that the belief is back. And you will build and create your new life through love. Lastly, destiny. What did you think, Leah? Your destiny is to blossom, to shine, to transform to ever greater light. You're meant to make it. And there's that faith that comes back. This is a great way segue into tarot, because whatever comes up, bottom of the deck, butterfly. Definitely a transitional period in your life. Definitely that time when you can move on from what was dead and gone and over, and what you can build. This is also Scorpio energy. I don't know if you're dealing with a Scorpio, but there is a positive essence around this card that says this is your future. I'll see you guys in the extended. The link is below.